Wait, what? You mean to tell me I'm imagining things? Claressa Shields, Olympic gold medalist, knockout queen, and undefeated in the ring, actually tried to secretly marry Papoose behind Remy Ma's back? And not only did Remy Ma find out, Sis rolled up, crashed the wedding, ripped Claressa's wig clean off, and dragged her out like a duffel bag. Oh no, baby. This isn't just a scandal. This is a reality TV finale turned real life. Where were you when Remy Ma turned a luxury estate wedding into an absolute war zone? Because what went down that day had lace fronts flying, guests screaming, and Papoose standing at the altar, frozen like he saw a ghost, or his entire life flashed before his eyes. We've got leaked footage, anonymous sources, and even a quote from a guest who said, "It was giving Love and Hip Hop meets WWE SmackDown." So get ready, because what began as wedding bells ended in full-on wig-snatching warfare. And trust me, you're going to want every juicy, petty, chaotic detail. Let's dive in. Ladies and gentlemen, cancel your weekend plans because what just went down at a private wedding in upstate New York might be the most insane event of the decade. And yes, it even tops the slap heard round the Oscars. Because while most brides are stressing about makeup disasters or bad weather, Claressa Shields' entire wedding got shut down by Remy Ma herself, wig snatch included. Let's get this straight. Claressa Shields, the undefeated boxing legend, the self-proclaimed GWOAT, was secretly planning to marry Remy Ma's man, Papoose. You heard right, Papoose. The same Papoose who had black love practically etched into his DNA. The same man who stood by Remy during her 6-year prison sentence, wrote poetry about her, and swore he'd never look at another woman. That Papoose. And yet, here he was, at the altar with Claressa, wearing a cream tux, holding vows on gold-foiled paper, and smiling like he hadn't just committed a federal crime against the Black Love movement. Let's talk about Claressa for a second. Powerful in the ring, bold on the mic, and recently, messy in the streets. While she might be undefeated in boxing, she clearly thought she could step into this marriage match without facing karma. But sis forgot one thing. Remy Ma doesn't lose. Now sources say the wedding was ultra-private. No press, no paparazzi, no phones. Guests had to sign NDAs, hand over their electronics, and pretend they weren't witnessing a scandal unfold in real time. But here's where it gets juicy. One of Claressa's hairstylists, because it's always someone from glam, took a mirror selfie while fixing the bride's edges. She captioned it, "Wedding Day Magic, our unbothered queen." That selfie somehow made its way into Remy Ma's inbox. And baby, that's when the chaos began. Now let's get into the pull-up. Remy didn't text, didn't call, didn't throw shade on Instagram. She put on all black like she was attending a funeral, and maybe she was, and hopped into an SUV with tinted windows, allegedly whispering to the driver, "Don't stop till I say so." Meanwhile, back at the wedding, everything seemed perfect. Claressa was walking down the aisle to the soothing sounds of a live harpist. Papoose had tears in his eyes, and the guests were sipping champagne, thinking they were witnessing black excellence. But instead, they got a front row seat to black chaos, starring Remy Ma. The doors flew open right in the middle of the vows. Guests gasped. One groomsman dropped his champagne flute. And then, there she was, Remy Ma in heels, full of fury, ready for all the smoke. She didn't yell, she didn't blink. She walked up the aisle like she was on a red carpet at the Grammys, locked eyes with Claressa and said, "This your idea of a legacy? Marrying someone else's man in my face? You can keep the man, but that wig, that's mine now." And before security could even blink, before Claressa could throw a punch or pray, Remy yanked the lace front right off her head like it was a rent payment. Guests screamed. The harpist stopped playing mid-note. The photographer kept snapping like he knew he was about to make history. And then, Remy Ma grabbed Claressa by her exposed braid pattern and dragged her down the aisle like she was returning a package to Amazon. The centerpiece fell. The designer heels went flying. Every last ounce of dignity Claressa had left hit the floor. Papoose, paralyzed. One hand on his chest, the other still holding the ring. He looked like he'd just been hit with the worst realization of his life. The officiant whispered, "Should I stop?" And one guest reportedly yelled, "Nah, keep going, this better than Netflix." Meanwhile, Claressa tried to fight back, but sources say Remy had her in such a firm grip, all she could do was scream, "You crazy!" To which Remy allegedly responded, No, I'm loyal. You crazy. Twitter was already on fire. Someone tweeted from behind the catering truck, "Y'all, I'm at Claressa and Papoose's wedding, and Remy Ma just turned it into WWE Raw. I saw the wig fly like a dove. This can't be real." And it got even messier. Someone slowed down the wig snatching moment with dramatic piano music in the background. Another clip went viral with the caption, "When the vows say, 'Speak now or forever hold your peace,' and Remy Ma says, 'Bet.'" Inside the venue, all hell broke loose. The DJ accidentally played "Lean Back," thinking it would calm things down. It didn't. Remy allegedly yelled, "You think this is a remix? I'm not here for nostalgia. I'm here for justice." Claressa was halfway across the lawn, barefoot and bald, when sirens started to wail in the distance. That's right. Somebody called the cops. Was it the wedding planner, the harpist, one of the aunties who brought their own folding chair just in case? We may never know. But what we do know is that those flashing lights lit up the night like the BET Awards. And Remy, still outside, not running, not panicking, just casually reapplying her lip gloss like it was just another Tuesday. One witness even said she asked the cops, "Y'all got here fast. You RSVP too?" But here's the twist. This wasn't going to end peacefully. No, ma'am. Because when officers approached her, one put his hand on her shoulder and said, "Ma'am, we need you to come with us." Remy replied, "Cool. But you touch me again, and I'll snatch your mustache off too." And that's when things took an unexpected turn. Karma had a plot twist for Remy Ma as well. One of the cops, clearly not prepared for this moment, went to restrain her and accidentally grabbed Remy by her own wig and pulled. Suddenly, the crowd gasped all over again. One bridesmaid fainted. The mother of the groom screamed, "Not the circle of wigs!" Remy's own hairpiece came loose, and in that moment, the woman who snatched Claressa was now being snatched by the law, by her lace front, as she was led to the police car, still unshaken, still looking flawless, and still furious. The internet declared that justice had been served. Have you ever seen the internet break in real time? Because the second that cop mistakenly pulled off Remy Ma's wig while trying to arrest her, the world stopped for a moment. Twitter erupted. TikTok was left speechless. Facebook aunties gathered in prayer circles. The hashtag #wig-to-wig justice surfaced almost instantly, with one tweet saying, "Remy Ma just went from snatcher to snatched. This is what Beyoncé meant by full circle." Now let's be clear. This wasn't a routine traffic stop. This was a full-on spectacle. Flashing lights, 3 squad cars, a crowd of wedding guests in heels filming on burner phones, and in the middle of it all, Remy Ma holding her wig in one hand and her dignity in the other. One guest shared with our anonymous investigative team, who weren't eavesdropping behind the dessert table, "I knew it was over when Remy said, 'I did what needed to be done' as they cuffed her. She was grinning like she just won a BET award." You'd think things would cool down once she was in the back of the squad car. But nope. That was only the beginning of the next wave of chaos. As police were escorting her out of the venue, wigless, cuffed, and still cursing with perfect rhythm, Claressa came charging out of the building, barefoot and ready for round 2. You thought it was over? Claressa Shields doesn't take humiliation lightly. After getting her wig snatched mid-vow and being dragged down the aisle, she was determined to settle the score, even in front of the police. Witnesses say Claressa ran at the squad car yelling, "Let me get 1 minute with her." Remy allegedly responded from the backseat, "You got 60 seconds to get better edges, boo." The crowd went crazy. Officers had to separate the two like it was a UFC pre-fight press conference. The energy? Totally wild. One uncle started selling plates. A teen went live on Instagram screaming, "This better make the shade room or I'm suing." Meanwhile, Papoose, still standing at the altar, alone, holding the wedding ring like it was a ticking time bomb, looking like a man who realized he hasn't had peace since 2006. And trust, people had questions. Everyone was wondering, how did it escalate this far? How did we go from Remy and Papoose being the perfect couple to wedding day chaos? What kind of Lifetime movie is this? Well, our fake investigative team dug deep, and what they uncovered might just split the timeline wide open. According to leaked messages sent to a gossip blog called Unbothered Tea Weekly, Claressa and Papoose had been secretly seeing each other for over a year. Not weeks, not months, a whole year. And guess where they met? A podcast taping. Because of course. Apparently, sparks flew when Claressa appeared as a guest, and Papoose was promoting his mixtape, Lyrical Love 4. What began as a freestyle battle backstage turned into, "Can I walk you to your car?" and eventually escalated to, "Let's plan a wedding behind my wife's back." Absolutely diabolical. Now here's where things get even messier. One of Claressa's stylists claims that Remy had suspected all along. Papoose had been extra protective of Claressa's name, deleting messages too quickly, and even using Face ID to lock his phone. Classic signs of foul play, but Remy was still giving him the benefit of the doubt until that bridal suite selfie made its way to her phone. And listen, say what you want about Remy Ma, but once she's triggered, it's over. Security footage, leaked by a venue worker who now sells exclusive content on Patreon, shows Remy parking her car sideways in front of the venue like it was Fast and Furious. Bronx Drift. She didn't even shut the door. She just stormed in like she had nothing to lose. And now, she might be facing real charges. Yep, you heard it here first. According to fake insider reports, the police are investigating the incident as a high-profile celebrity altercation with intent to disrupt a private event. That's legal speak for you showed up and turned a wedding into WrestleMania. Sources say prosecutors are considering disturbing the peace, physical assault via wig snatch, trespassing, emotional terrorism. Yes, it's fake, but it sure feels real. Even more shocking, a leaked memo suggests that Claressa might be pressing charges, not just against Remy, but also against the venue for failing to prevent public embarrassment during a sacred ceremony. Sis is clearly playing chess, not checkers. Meanwhile, public reaction is spiraling out of control. Social media polls show 58% of people believe Remy was justified but chaotic. 27% think Papoose set both women up for clout. 15% still can't believe wigs can be snatched that easily. One anonymous celeb, rumored to be Cardi B, posted, "When you marry someone else's man, expect the ex to bring fireworks. And Remy, she don't play with sparklers. She brings the whole 4th of July." Even Wendy Williams' former producers allegedly reached out to discuss turning the whole thing into a limited series. You can't make this stuff up, except of course we did, but it feels real. Back at the station, sources say Remy Ma was offered a hoodie to cover her head. She reportedly said, "Nah, let him see me. I'm still that chick, wig or not." And that's when the streets declared her the people's champ. But the question remains, what happens next? Remy's facing possible charges. Claressa wants revenge. Papoose? He might need witness protection. And the internet? Still replaying that dragging scene like it's the Zapruder film of hip-hop drama. But trust me, it's not over yet. It's been 48 hours since the most scandalous wedding crash in hip-hop history, and the world still hasn't recovered. Wig-to-wig justice is trending in 13 countries. Memes are being printed on hoodies. There's even an unauthorized reenactment circulating on TikTok with sock puppets. But this isn't just a viral moment anymore. It's a full-blown cultural reckoning. Let's start with the aftermath. Remy Ma, despite having her own wig snatched during her arrest, has somehow become even more iconic. According to completely unverified reports, her mugshot leaked online, and the pose? Legendary. Edges slightly frayed, chin tilted with purpose, and a look that said, "I'd do it again," and in heels. But here's where things get legally juicy. Fake insiders at the Bronx District Court say Remy is facing 3 charges: disturbance of a private event, assault by lace front, felony, embarrassment in the 1st degree. The judge overseeing the case, who may or may not be a Remy fan, allegedly told her lawyer, "Honestly, if I was her, I'd have snatched the wig too." But it's not just courtrooms that are getting involved. The Hip Hop Relationship Council trademark, "Yes, we made that up," is reportedly investigating Papoose's loyalty license. Word on the street is, if proven guilty of emotional betrayal, he could face a permanent ban from quoting Maya Angelou and referring to Remy as his queen in public ever again. And what's Papoose got to say for himself? After several days of silence, he finally made an unexpected appearance in a live stream, looking like a man who hadn't slept or hydrated since the event. Wearing sunglasses indoors and speaking in a hushed tone, he addressed the public. "I just want peace. I never wanted anyone to get hurt. I love my family. I respect all women, and I just wanted a fresh start." The comments? Unforgiving. A fresh start with Remy Ma still around? Sir, come on. You stood by her for 6 years and couldn't keep a secret wedding under wraps? Blink twice if Claressa had you do this. But here's the twist no one saw coming. A leaked voice note supposedly from Claressa Shields appeared, sent to a friend just before the wedding. In it, she says, Remy's not even checking for him anymore. She's out with that other guy, Easy or whatever. I'm just speeding up what was already ending. Boom. Now the internet's buzzing. Was this truly betrayal or just poor timing? Was Remy fighting for her man or her pride? Either way, the aftermath is chaotic. Papoose has reportedly been cut from 3 upcoming mixtape collaborations. Claressa's new reality series, Knockout Queens, has supposedly halted production due to optics. And Remy Ma, she's reportedly been offered a full tell-all documentary deal with Tubi and a lucrative speaking gig called Wigs in War: How I Reclaimed My Power. Meanwhile, a fake change.org petition is gaining momentum with over 80,000 signatures to officially recognize wig snatching as a legitimate form of self-defense in emotional warfare. The comments are pure comedy. If your man is at an altar and you ain't the bride, drag season is open. Wig snatching is the new slap. Normalize it. Public reaction remains humorously divided. Team Remy is out here printing I Said I Do to Vengeance t-shirts. Team Claressa is planning a charity boxing match to raise money for victims of public hairline trauma. And Team Papoose? Bro, there is no Team Papoose. That man is out here solo, roaming Brooklyn like a character from an unpaid BET miniseries. But hold up. It gets even worse for Papoose. Sources claim Remy's legal team has filed a dignity injunction, a completely fake legal motion that prevents Papoose from releasing any poetry, spoken word, or 3-minute emotional freestyles about her until the trial is over. One of Remy's representatives allegedly told the press, "We're not stopping his music, we're stopping the corny." Meanwhile, Claressa isn't finished either. She held a press conference outside a beauty supply store, sporting a 30-inch bust-down middle part and holding her original wig in a plastic evidence bag. Through tears, she stated, "I just wanted love. I just wanted peace. I didn't expect violence on my big day. I didn't expect to get scalped in front of my grandmother." Reporters gasped. One daring blogger asked if she still had feelings for Papoose. She paused, then quietly replied, "I still got feelings, but not for him. For revenge." That moment went viral. The memes? Relentless. A picture of Claressa with the quote, "I got feelings for revenge," now boasts 3.8 million shares. Someone made a remix of her saying the line, and it drops into Backstabber by Jasmine Sullivan. Another tweet read, "This the greatest love triangle since Beyoncé, Jay, and Becky with the good hair." Let's not forget the most unexpected twist of all. After being released on bail, Remy posted a single photo on Instagram. It was a blurry image of her gazing out of a limo window. Caption? One word, unbothered. Over 1 million likes, thousands of comments. Papoose left a single emoji. Fans immediately roasted him. Now everyone's asking, what happens next? Does Remy take legal action of her own? Does Claressa plan a second wedding, with security this time? Will Papoose disappear into the same Bermuda Triangle that claimed Safari's credibility? Only time will tell. But one thing's certain. This story has reshaped the landscape of celebrity drama forever. And to think, it all started with a wig. So now the question is, was Remy Ma right to pull up and unleash wigged-out vengeance? Or did she just set a new low for public humiliation at a private wedding? Because whether you're Team Remy, Team Claressa, or still wondering why Papoose was in a tux and not a therapist's office, one thing's clear. This wasn't just a love triangle. This was a PR disaster in a lace front. But we want to hear from you. Was Claressa out of line for trying to marry another woman's man in secret? Did Remy take it too far by turning wedding vows into combat choreography? And most importantly, whose wig deserves justice? Drop your thoughts in the comments because, baby, we're not done sipping this tea. Like the video if you're shook, subscribe for more chaos, and hit the bell so you never miss the next scandal. This has been Pop Culture Tea, where your faves come to get exposed.